The Atlas Patrimoni Caesaris uses Zotero to manage its bibliography, and as we have seen, you can, of course, add bibliography here, add initial, or later other titles, and actually, as you've seen in this dialog box, the system searches a Zotero group. This Zotero group is actually the group, if you, of our project that has a shared library where we can charge and add new references. And then to search here, and then the references appear when they are inserted. So how to use them? But of course, you have to download Zotero yourself. So you have to go to the Zotero.org page and then click on download because you have to download the the application and the connector. So actually, you need to add both because it's easier to work when you have both of them. So when you download the application, that it's like this, you actually have to connect your account. So you need to create a Zotero account. Actually, it's here you can register here. For example, if you have not done it yet, you can register and create your account, and then you can log in into your account when you have done that. When you have created your account, you can actually link your application to your account from the preferences. You go to preferences. Um, I will do it from the menu, from here, preferences, and then synchronization. And then you can, here, okay, I already logged in, so my name is already there, but otherwise here you are prompted with a dialog and fields when you to enter your username and password, just enter that and then you accept the default parameters and then you are done. After you have synchronized your account, you will see that near your library here, another part of the main, another part appears here in the left column, and it's the Patrimonium ERC library. Of course, in order to see that, you need to be a member of the Patrimonium ERC group. Every one of the team members now it's a member of that. Anyway, if you are not a member, if you lost the membership, you have to search for a group in the Zotero webpage and then ask to join the group, and I will allow you to enter the group. So then, when you see when you see the group, it means that you can actually browse all the bibliography and, of course, add new bibliographies. The group is divided in many different um, folders here. We have the corpora with all the main corpora that we use. Many of them are already entered, but of course there are many of them they are still not there, so you will need to add some corpora as if needed. Then is a general bibliography where everything else goes, everything that is not an epigraphic corpus or a papyrological corpus. There is also a literary sources folder because literary sources are actually entered as Zotero references, each one reference for each work that we cite. So actually you see Fronto has many entrants with for different correspondences, like you even if you go on Tacitus, Suetonius has a has of course an entry for every biography and so on. It means that if you want to add a literary source, you just need to search, for example, Galba, and then you add it. There is also a web page. There's not much in it, but it's this web page folder. It can be useful for having like references to sites that are useful for the project. So actually, how does it look? Well, when you click on one record, you see here on the right, there are all the information. And or like here, and what you see is really all this information are taken from other library catalogs, particularly. So here you see there is the rest of the Xenon Diest record. But what you see, one important thing is that you can visualize here the short title that we give to to the catalogs, sorry, to the corpora. So actually, this is the abbreviation that will be used in our database. So it's important that when you add a corpora, a corpus, you have to fill the short title, actually the abbreviation that we have to use. So when you want to add a, a new reference, you can of course add it manually on Zotero. If you go here, you can just add from this button, you just click and you add either a journal article, book chapter, a book. You can just manually add that inside the folder that you need. So otherwise, the simpler thing is that you go on a library catalog, for example, like WorldCat, and you you for example you search for this title. So this title is not in our library. So you click on it, and then if you have installed the Zotero plugin, you will see that here there is a button here on the left of your browser, of, and it indicates you that this is a Save to Zotero button. As you see here, it shows you um, this icon because this is a thesis, a PhD thesis. So actually understand that it's a PhD thesis, so it would add it to the database as a PhD thesis, but we don't search for the PhD thesis. We want the actual book, so actually it's this one. And as you see here, the Zotero plugin shows you a book. So actually, this is the one that we wanted to add. So we just click on it. You need to have the Zotero application open. When it's open, you click and it shows you that it's going to register that on Corpora, but you can, of course, expand and you can select a different folder. Now, of course, in this case, Corpora is okay because it's a lithographic corpus of the Schriften von Comana in Cappadocia. So actually, you can just say terminate, and so the title should have been added, and here it is. The Inschriften von Comana, it's already also selected. So I can just check here if everything is okay. So the title is okay, author is okay. Then I need to add the short title, actually the abbreviation. Here it's not present. So I use this standard format I dot Comana, and it's done. So if I don't put a short title, the reference will be just shown as Baz 2007. So actually the author last name plus the date. This is how the normal references are shown. Everything in general bibliography, for example, is shown like this. But for the corporate, we of course need to use the abbreviations. Make reference to the latest checklist that has been sent in May last year from the working group led by Denis Rosset about the the uniformization of references of abbreviation to Greek corpora, particularly for Greek graphic corpora. So now you can, of course, add from these. You can add from JSTOR, of course. If you search from something, then um, you will see that you can, of course, add articles. Let's say that, well, I can just click on one random article here. And so here we are, and you see here the Zotero connector has showed you a paper, so you can just click and add it perhaps to general bibliography. If you want to add um, a literary source, you go to the Persus catalog, so you have to enter this address in your browser, catalog.persus.org. Here, it's a this catalog, it's a list of all the ancient authors and their works with listed all the critical editions that has been used by Perseus and or editions that are available online. So actually, if you see that someone has to be added and it's not already in our list of literary sources, you can just search for it. You can just search for that, and then you get um, all these, for example, all these um, entries for the different bibliographies. And you see that they can be different, you can have different editions of different years and so on. So actually, when you find the right one, you just click on it and then you can add it. You see here this Zotero shows you this page, this icon that it's a kind of web page icon. But anyway, what is important that you add uh, the page as a reference, and then in Zotero, as you see, the literary sources, they do have their own short title that is actually the abbreviation, that is the usual abbreviation. And so don't forget to use the abbreviation, to enter the abbreviation when you add a literary source as well. When you have finished, you can actually add your bibliography. If, for example, you would see that the BAS edition is already there, so we can add that. For example, number 13. Okay, but here we don't have to add it. If you want to add, uh, you see that you can actually add a literary source here. If you want like a reference, you can say Agricola chapter 45. You can just like add it like this. Another nice thing is that if you click on a reference, you are redirected immediately to our Zotero group, where you can see the reference, and then you see also the entire bibliography online, even without the application. So this is it for the use of Zotero.